Hey YouTube, how are you doing today? Well, I wasn't going to do another TSNP update video for a few days at least, but the price is absolutely exploding. So I want to go over this current price action, plus I want to give you my thoughts on what might be happening next. And then as always, I do have some other nice tradable chart patterns that I want to go over with you guys. If you guys get bored of making a fortune on TSNP, maybe you guys can check them out. I don't know. Now, if you're new to my channel, I like to invest and trade in typically lower price stocks and talk about all other things finance related as well. If that's something that interests you, please consider subscribing so you don't miss any future trading or investing ideas. But please remember, I am not a financial advisor, so please do all of your own research before investing in any of these stocks. Alright guys, I'm going to get right into the chart. This is my TC2000 trading software, and this is the daily chart of Tesoro Enterprises, ticker symbol TSNP. And as we can see, this stock is up huge on the day, and I had actually had a comment on one of my last videos on TSNP by the Chosen One, and he said, "Hey man, how come you don't ever make any videos of TSNP on a down day?" So I figured I would, prove them wrong and make one today. But as we can see, TSNP is having a massive, massive up day. I remember when this thing was way down around 15 cents when I was making some of my first videos on this, and there were so many people commenting on those videos saying that this thing is going to be at $1, and I don't even think I believed it because it was so far away and it had already come up so far, and look at it right now. It is spitting distance away from $1. So unbelievable run on this stock. Congratulations to anybody who's been in this thing, for more than 2 or 3 months, or even, I don't know, 2 or 3 days, because you're already up huge. But this stock is absolutely defying gravity. I don't even know what to say about this stock. The only thing I can really say is it is so far away from the 8-period exponential moving average right now. It's got to be getting close to time to starting to lock in some of these profits, at least if you're a short-term swing trader like me, because it is so far extended. But this thing is an absolute rocket ship. My God, I would love to have had a few 100,000 shares back in October of November. I couldn't even imagine. I'm not even going to try to do the math to figure out how much they'd be worth right now, because I'll probably just make myself puke. But congratulations to all you guys that are in TSNP. In my opinion, I think it's about time to start ringing the register at least a little bit, but who knows? This thing might be at $5 soon. So, but as we can see in my last video, it did have that explosion off of the 8-period exponential moving average. If this chart teaches any of you newer guys anything, it's just to keep an eye on this moving average and use this for your entries and swing trades, and use it to gauge when to get into the start of a trend. You want to be getting in. We all want to be getting into these trends as early as possible, and this moving average is probably the best tool that I know of. If you guys have a better one, leave it down there in the description, because I'm always looking to add tools to my repertoire, but I would love to check out something better if you guys do have one. But let's check this out intraday really quick. Let's go to the 15-minute chart. And as you can see, when this chart started to explode, you had the start of a rounding bottom. This is actually more of a triangle consolidation. It was more of a, like a bullish kind of a pennant formation, maybe a little bit of a flag. It's kind of hard to see right now because we've had this huge up move and it's distorting the size of this part of it. But anyway, it was starting to round out, and then when you can, when the price jumps back above that 8-period exponential moving average, that's your signal to get in, and this was another perfect one. I mean, just a huge, huge up move. Let's go back to the daily chart. Actually, let's check out the weekly chart just to put this insanely ridiculous move into perspective. I mean, if this isn't getting at least close to a short-term top, I don't know what is. But as you can see, this moving average works perfectly on just about every time frame. You can use it on the 5-minute time frame. You can use it on the weekly time frame, as you can see right here. Held that 8-period exponential moving average perfectly. started to rise up with it and then just exploded. I use this pattern all the time, usually on the daily chart, and it works out really well with lower price stocks. But TSNP is a rocket. Leave me down in the comments where you guys think this is going next. And I know some of you guys are permabulls on this, but do you have an exit point at all at this point in time? I mean, what price are you looking to get out? Because this is just a massive, massive run. I'm just curious to know, some of you guys that are, been in this for quite a while, what price are you guys looking to get out at? Because this is just an absolute gift from the market. But leave that down in the comment section for you. I don't even know what else to do with the technical analysis of this stock at the moment, except, it looks like it's getting close to a short-term top. But who knows? I could probably be wrong. But all right, let's get into some other tradable opportunities right now. All right, well, the first one I want to talk about is 9 Meters Biopharma, ticker symbol NMTR. And this was actually brought to my attention by Julie from the Patreon. She found this one, but this thing is making an absolutely perfect pattern. Very nice rounding bottom. You are starting to see the volume come in on the right side of that rounded bottom, which tells you there's probably going to be enough volume to push this thing out into a new uptrend. And this thing had the breakout above $1.07, came back and tested that, and then jumped right back above the 8-period exponential moving average, and that is your buy signal. She told me about this one several days ago. I didn't know if she said she got in this or not, but if she did, she called it absolutely perfectly, because this uptrend looks like it is just starting to get going. I like to buy them when they pull back to the 8-period exponential moving average, but once this trend starts to accelerate, that can be easier, easier said than done, because a lot of times it doesn't pull back very often once it starts to get going. But NMTR is definitely worth putting on your watch list. Let's get to the next one. All right, the next one I want to talk about is RWLK Robotics, ticker symbol RWLK. I talked about this one a few videos ago, and it looks like it is starting to get going again. I still have the drawings left on there from the last video, but we had the nice rounding bottom, volume coming in on the right side, and the lows starting to rise up into that resistance. Exploded through the resistance, caught some support at the 8-period exponential moving average. It has since started to pull back, but is now right back above that 8-period exponential moving average, and possibly starting the next leg up. And this is when you want to get in on these chart patterns. You want to get in just as they're busting back above that 8-period exponential moving average, because that is usually the beginning of the trend, and you're getting in on that trend pretty early. So those are great tradable patterns. Make sure that you keep an eye on charts that have this pattern, because you're just going to put the odds in your favor if you're making your entry point right around this area of an uptrend, So you definitely want to keep RWLK Robotics on your list. And actually today is technically a buy day. So if you wanted to take a chance on RWLK, that's up to you. But this is the time when I would like to get into it, is when it's just about ready to make a new high, and this one looks poised to do so. But let's get into the next one. All right, the next one I want to talk about is TRVN Incorporated, ticker symbol TRVN, and I also talked about this one a video or two ago, and it looks like it is already starting to break out. I still have the drawings left up there from the previous video, but if we zoom in a little bit, we can see that it was rising above this 8-period exponential moving average, and all it needed was that slingshot up past the resistance area, and it looks like it is doing it today. My only disclaimer for today would be to make sure, if you're thinking about buying this one, make sure it closes above this resistance area, because a lot of times in the beginning of the day it can break above a resistance area but then close below it by the end of the day, and that will negate the signal. So if you wait for it to break resistance and hold, your chances of having a profitable trade have greatly increased. I know in this market everything is super fast, so sometimes if you do wait too long, the thing will just explode without you, and that if you start chasing, then that adds more risk to your trade. So it's not an easy thing to do in this environment, because stuff is just moving fast. But that would be my disclaimer on this chart. I mean, everything else looks absolutely perfect. You're starting to get those rising lows that are coming into this resistance area that once it gets above it, it will become support. You do have some above average volume days coming on this right side of this rounded bottom, so that's definitely a plus. But TRVN looks awesome, and it looks ready to rock if it can just hold above this resistance area. I think it's definitely worth putting on our watch list for potential buy in the next day or so. All right, the next one I want to talk about is IBIO Incorporated, ticker symbol IBIO. I can't remember if I talked about this one in a previous video. I had this on my watch list for a couple of days, and something is telling me that I left it off the video because it was still below that 200 period simple moving average, this yellow line on the chart. And I like to see, even though the pattern was looking super bullish, I like to see my trades be over that moving average before I get into them. You're just putting the odds of success more in your favor when you're already above all those moving averages. And this thing just sliced through that 200 period simple moving average like it wasn't even there. But this was looking super bullish as it was coming out of this bottom. It was just holding that 8 period exponential line just about perfectly. Jumped back above it, held it the next day, and then exploded through that 200 period simple moving average. And it is having nice follow through today on pretty good volume. The trading day is still going, so this obviously this volume bar is going to get bigger. But what I would be very interested in this stock, if it did pull back to this area where the 200 period simple moving average is, or the 8 period exponential moving average, if it can hang up here for a day or 2 or 3 and give this 8 period exponential moving average time to catch up to it around 220 or so, if we got a little bit of a light pullback, that would be a fantastic opportunity for me, and I would be very interested into getting into IBIO. You never know with these ones. They could just keep screaming higher because this one is a biotech. And when biotechs get going, they get going, just like we saw in last July when IBIO went from about $1.60 to almost $7.50 just in a couple of weeks. So, I mean, if you catch these things just right, I mean, this is what I'm kind of looking for right here. Now that we got that first explosion up, if we can get a pullback into that 8 period exponential moving average, that's when I would love to be a buyer of this stock, and we could get that. So I'm going to have my eyes peeled for that. And if it does pull back into that, I will probably go over it on another video just to let you guys know. But IBIO is looks like it is an explosion waiting to happen, and definitely worth keeping an eye on. Definitely worth putting on our watch list. That was a hard one, but let's get into the next one. All right, the next one I want to talk about is CSCW, which is Color Star Technologies, and I talked about this one a couple of videos ago as well, but we can see it is above all those moving averages like I like to see. We got this nice rounding bottom starting to take shape, and we got a lot of volume coming in on the right side of it. Now, when I first put this one on my list for this video, it was near the highs of the day, but it's starting to pull back a little bit. It's still a very bullish looking pattern, so if it can hold above this 8 period exponential moving average and give us maybe one of these bars, that would be your buy signal. But CSCW, it looks like it is poised to get going in the next few days, or maybe even it could even take a week or so for this pattern to play out if it does break out, but it does look poised to start a new uptrend. And we had this decent gap up just several weeks ago, and it is not looking back. It looks like it is ready to start a decent looking uptrend. So CSCW is definitely worth putting on your watch list and waiting for this breakout. But let's get into the last one. Okay, the last one I want to show you is Cleveland Biolabs, ticker symbol CBLI. I definitely talked about this one a couple of videos ago, and it actually is pulling back at the moment. When I put this on my list for the video, it was up near the high of the day, so it's having a decent pullback as I am doing this video. But this is just an absolutely beautiful pattern. I did not buy it because I just can't buy every single one of these. Number one, I don't have the funds to just put money into every single one of these stocks I'm showing you. And number two, I just can't manage all those. I can only manage about 6 to 10 stocks at a time. I don't know about you guys, but It seems like if I get more than 6 to 10 active positions going at one time, it's just a little bit too much to manage well, at least, because I end up usually missing some opportunities and when to get in and out of these things if I have too many to manage. But anyway, CBLI, just an absolutely beautiful pattern. If I zoom in a little bit, you can see it had that picture perfect breakout, and then the hold of the 8-period exponential moving average, and then the catapult move up from around $5 to a high of about $7.75 in just a couple of days. So an absolute explosion out of this pattern. You know, that's why I love this pattern so much, because once you catch it, once the trend starts to accelerate, you just wait for it to hold that line. If it holds that line, you're in. If it breaks through that line and starts to roll over, there's no need to get in the stock just yet. I mean, sometimes they'll break through and they will find support at another moving average, like it did right here on the 21-period exponential moving average. That is another one of my favorite ones. And then it'll jump right back above it if the trend is still healthy, and that's fine too. You know, you can just wait for it to prove itself that the pattern is going to have a higher probability of being profitable before you enter. And if you do that, you know, you're going to have a lot more winning trades on your side. But this one was just an absolutely perfect pattern. As far as this point or in the chart, I would have to see how it plays out. I mean, if it holds the highs and continues to kind of meander sideways till this moving average just comes up, then I would be interested in entering this stock. But I mean, it is getting kind of long in the tooth, so I would expect a little bit more of a pullback. But we'll see. You know, if this thing holds near the highs and starts to consolidate up there, then it's going to be setting up for another potentially great trade. But CBLI is definitely worth keeping on your watch list, seeing if it consolidates up there. All right, guys, well, that's all I have for this one. But if you have any questions or comments on any of these stocks, please don't hesitate to leave them down there in the comment section, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed the content, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already so you don't miss any future trading opportunities. Thank you so much for watching my video all the way to the end, and until next time, take care, everybody.